Hey folks, how's it going? You thought I was little Kenny out of a South Park, didn't you? Obviously with like a sore throat. So how's it going? It's got a brew on out in the shed, you know, because obviously it's another episode from Tales from the Shed. So I'm happy for some reason. I don't know why. I'm on night shifts. I should be really sort of like down in the doldrums really, shouldn't I? Can't stand nights. But there you go. Anyway, so let's get on with the episode. So as you can probably hear, jet balls going off in the background. Got me cup ready to have a brew. I'm actually drinking, this is for Barney because I know what he's like. I'm actually drinking some of that Yorkshire Biscuit Tea, I think it's called. If you ain't tried it and you're a tea drinker, give it a crack. I tell you what, it's absolutely really nice. Quite novel actually. It's a bit like if you like custard creams. It's a bit like having a cup of tea with custard creams, I suppose. Anyway, right, let's get to it. Right, so quite recently, you know, it was my birthday. I've turned 21 again, and I received if you cast your mind back, do you remember I had a bow that was hanging up here? And I think if you know, it was hanging up. Yeah, I literally what I'd done was I made a bow drill kit for a guy, Matt Tiny. What a contradiction that is. See the size of that bloke, he's huge. And I don't mean that in a, you know what I mean, he's just a big fella. Anyway, no offence, Matt. But yeah, I basically made him a bow drill kit for his 21st birthday. And you know, he's got the whole kit now. But in return, well, not in return really, it was just the fact that it was my birthday and he bought me, you know what, you know sometimes you get presents off people and you might look at them, it's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? You know, you open it, you think like, yeah, it's going to be a new pair of Fjällräven trousers, or I don't know, you know what I mean, some sort of, you know, new sleeping bag or whatever, and then you open it and it's just a set of handkerchiefs from Primark or something. Yeah, well, I didn't have that kind of reaction, I really didn't. And get it out, this is the... No, it ain't a new pair of boots, you know what I mean, because that'd be asking too much, wouldn't it? But he basically got me a box of food. There's lots of stuff in there. Obviously from watching my videos, he sees what I eat, and he's obviously gone out and purchased, let me just turn off that jet boil, and he's obviously gone out and got me a load of bits and pieces that I obviously use for camping, so or when I'm out, you know, out in the woods or whatever. So absolutely chuffed to bits. Coffee bags, you know, noodles, rices, curry mixes and all sorts of stuff in there. So, you know, that is absolutely pucker, you know what I mean, that's really good. You know, don't tell him that though, I still think it's a cheapskate getting me that, you know what I mean. All the effort I put into making that bow drill kit. Make you laugh, don't they, some people? I don't know. Anyway, no, you know what I mean, I'm only joking. I'm absolutely, you know, chuffed to bits with that. So, absolutely pucker. So let me, while I'm talking to you folks, sort of, you know, how's it going then? What have people been doing? Have you all sort of, you know, has the lockdown affected you? You know, are you still able to get out? I've still been able to get out and do a few things. I'm just looking for my spoon. My worktop has just become untidy again, and I can't find a spoon local, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get one out of the other box. Bear with us a sec, folks. Actually, I'll turn the camera off and come back to you in a sec. And we're back. Right, so we'll get a brew on. Yeah, so as the coat, you know, has it affected you in any way at all? How are you feeling mentally? You know, I'm hoping that, you know, that my Tales from the Shed obviously boosts some of your morale, you know what I mean, and all the rest of it. Oh, and while I remember, while it's in my head, I was chatting to a couple of people at the weekend, and they were telling me, give me some sort of advice, and I took some of it on board actually. I thought it was quite good. I'll tell you before we crack on with the rest of it. Right, first thing I've done is I've reset up my Etsy store. The badges are on now. I've got the badges on there now, so rather than you going through, you know, sort of asking for a link and blah 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 blah, what I've done in the last video that I've just loaded up today, which is basically just another gear I use, and it's the Pathfinder setup, the Nestle cup, you know, stainless steel bowl. You know, if you ain't seen it, if you don't know what it is, go over and watch the video. Otherwise, you know, where have you been all your life, living under a rock? And I basically put the link on there, and from now on it's going to be it'll be in the description, you know what I mean? So if you do want to go and purchase a badge, I've reduced the price a little bit as well. Maybe I was being a little bit expensive, you know, a little bit expensive, I don't know, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. But you know, the badges do go, so the ones that I've got left will be on the Etsy store, and then obviously you can go over there and do a geezer a favour and purchase one. When I was having a chat with some chaps at the weekend, they were also saying to me, which I've always, you know what I mean, I've never ever asked for money. I know there's YouTube channels out there that do and all the rest of it, and I really am against, I'm not against it, people do what the flipping all they like. But for me personally, I've always been a bit against it. I always find it's a bit like begging for money, but then that's my own personal opinion. And they actually said to me, they knew what my reaction would immediately be, and that was to set up a Patreon account. Now, you know, for how many views I get on Tales from the Shed, from now on, I've not set it up on Patreon. I might do, I really don't know. I'm still in two minds whether or not to do it, but from now on, if I do, I'll stick a link up. You won't hear about it again. If people, I'll just literally say check the description, you know, like some people say, oh, price of a cup of coffee or price of a pint of beer or whatever, you know what I mean? Pretty we're not living in Sweden, what is it, about 10 quid on a pint? I'd be on a fortune, wouldn't I, if people did make a donation? So I might look into it. I don't really know. I'm still sort of like up in the air, maybe not. Sometimes I contradict myself and all the rest of it, but you know, there it is. So yeah, so hopefully everyone's okay. I've been doing quite a bit of reading, because a lot of the books that I've got loads of pictures in, you know what I mean, so I can flip through and look at the pictures. Not really, I can read, you know, I can read, you know, I know, like, you know, I know, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I watched that film Dark Waters the other night. If you haven't seen it, go over and give it a gander, or go and have and watch it. Great film. It's basically about the company DuPont, where a guy, a solicitor or someone, took him to court. Really good film. Spoiler alert, he dies at the end. Really. But really good film. Quite a long film, but really good. And yeah, that's about it then on that sense. Still listening to the old podcasts. I still listen to them. The Canadian Bushcraft one, I think I might have plugged that a little while back. That's a good little podcast if you want to go and have a listen. If you are into podcasts ain't everybody's thing, because people like to watch Descattys on YouTube, you know what I mean? So you know. Right, so what have I been up to? Oh, I've been just same old really, same old Mick Kinsley. I've just been getting out, you know, still getting out, doing sort of like little sessions up the woods and such like. If you have been watching some of the other videos of late, I've been doing some sort of like little solo trips out up the woods. And I've been making some birch oil. Basically, I've got a shed load of, not a shed load, you know what I mean, but I've got tubs like most of us have of birch and all the rest of it, and I just want to get rid of some of it. So what I've been doing is I've been making the old birch oil. Now, if you haven't seen those videos, please go and have a look. And I've got quite a lot in there now. I'm really pleased. I mean, it's taken about 4 trips so far to get this this amount of black gold as they call it, or you know what I mean, it's just literally birch oil, but it's actually really good stuff. I did have a few comments from people asking what's it good for and all the rest of it, and as far as I'm aware, use your own Google food skills and stop being lazy buggers, but it's good for obviously skin ailments and stuff like that, obviously an natural insect repellent, but also it's good for obviously treating woodwork and your leather work and stuff like that with your axes, maybe knife handles and all your other leather work that you might use, you know, in your gimp outfits and that sort of thing. But what I did do, the little kit that I was making, or the little tins that I was using, if you haven't seen those videos, as I say, please go over and have a look. But what I did do was I made a little pouch, little leather pouch, because I've got, you know, I've got loads of leather and you're knocking about, or some of us have anyway. And literally what I've done was, this was, as I say, this is an old light jute twin, it's starting to get a bit bad now, but I would use this basically just to put my, just to keep the gear in when it's being used. So if I get the second tin out now, I mean that looks proper battered now, doesn't it? But what a combo, they go really well together. When I'm obviously, you know, doing my birch bark, they sort of go pretty well together. And as I say, they literally all go. Where'd that pouch go? I'll just put it down. So literally, yeah, I'll just make myself a little leather pouch, just to you know, keep it tidy and keep the carbon off you know, the rest of the gear that's inside your rucksack, day sack, or whatever your carry system is that you're using. So yeah, so I knocked myself up one of them. You know, quite a bit of birch oil. Got myself a new plate. I'm hoping to get the missus some for Christmas, you know, Christmas plates, you know what I mean. I don't know what she'll think of them, but she's getting them anyway. She don't watch my YouTube channel, so that's not a problem. Oh yeah, one other thing I've got to show you that I bought recently, folks. I could have done with this when it was Halloween, couldn't I? Yeah, I bought myself a chainsaw. Now this one is battery operated. It's not a petrol or electric one or anything like that. Well, it's kind of electric in it because it is running off a battery, but no, it's a battery operated chainsaw. Now what happened was, there's a bit of a story behind this. My wife wants a new Christmas tree. So a few weeks ago, I was off at the weekend. I had a day out on the Saturday up the woods. Sunday, I was like, no dear, I will drive you to a shopping centre, you know, wherever. I will drive you there on a Sunday, you know what I mean? Come on, you know, how many, as men, I don't know how many Dorises watch my channel, but I know as men, you know, all that sort of stuff, going shopping regardless is a bit of a nightmare. But then again, my wife says it's a bit of a nightmare as well. And went into one of the shops, one of the hardware shops, for to look at Christmas trees. We didn't buy a Christmas tree, but I came out with a chainsaw. How cool is that? So yeah, I bought myself this chainsaw by Qualcast. I'm not going to review it or anything just yet. I've literally just used it a couple of times over the weekend, you know, chainsawing up bodies and stuff. And I'll get back to you on what I think of it so far. But yeah, not a bad bit of kit, you know. It's alright, it goes. Quite pleased with it so far. Alright, so I've got myself a nice little chainsaw, eh? My wife got a Christmas tree in the end. I went and cut her one down. No, I didn't. But yeah, so what else has been happening then? I don't really know what else to say right now. My head's a little bit all over the place because of nights. No, I don't mean like mentally or anything. I just mean like I'm just hot, you know, a bit tired and everything else. So I think we might leave that one at that. That might be a slightly longer episode of Tales from the Show. I don't really know. But so far, I'm appreciating everybody's comments. The subscriber base appears to have gone up for now. I don't know how long that will be, because once you normally say things like that, people normally unfollow you. But if you are still following me, then fantastic. Thank you for the support. If you do want a badge, then as I say, go and check out the link. The link is in the previous video, the Pathfinder one. And then by the time you watch this one, it will be on there as well, and it's going to be on there all the time. If I do set up the Patreon thing, then, you know, it'll be in there, but I'm not going to go on about it anymore, because if people do want to make a donation, they can, but I'm kind of a little bit against it, a little bit, but speaking to some people at the weekend, they've kind of said it's not a bad idea, but I don't want to, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so there it is, folks. Alright, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed to the Madhouse, then please just, you know, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell as well, because then that will let you know that I've got new videos coming out and all the rest of it. And I think that's about it really. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy my this old cup of shit tea. Oh, this old, no, it's not shit. It's not shit. It's lovely. So I'll catch you on the next one, folks. Alright, so take care, folks, stay safe, and all the best. Laters.